folks. Just this particular topic, I never really serious looked at it because of when it's, I won't say it's in the moment, but during that time, I shouldn't be thinking about that. But parenting planning or parenthood planning is very important to go through and to look it through. And obviously in a relationship or whether you guys are married, and this is where it becomes certain cultures have certain views in this area, but I'm just speaking as in just in general, all right, without the religion side of or culture side. So basically, spoke to a coworker about this, and he gave me a something glimpse that I never looked at on my issue. And obviously, there's a difference between the educated and the uneducated. Now, a person, whatever how you define educated or uneducated, to be honest, I'm actually uneducated. I was fortunate to see lots of life experience, what my father and the trauma in life to get to be, what my culture kept saying, oh, don't do this, don't do that. And how do I mix match to understand their view? Why you have to delay? Why it's like this? Why it's like that? And that's why I have to pay the cost of the price for going against it or not figuring out, right? So what he's been saying is that if you marry to a uneducated man or woman, parenting planning or parenthood or whatever, whether you want to delay or communicate is not the way, because it's the way they will say it's up to God, it's my culture, it's okay, or whatever how it is, right? Or we don't believe in abortion. So there's always a way, like, and I know it's very devilish to even me to say this, where you have contraceptive pill or perhaps you have condoms, where many cultures believe that, look, it's up to God. You're going against the God will for rain protection or contraceptive or whatever, what you guys can label, or rods, whatever, right? Or get your tube ties up, whatever, right? Or get a snip or whatever. And also, we live in a very hypersexual society. What we see, what we're facing, what we hear, and what we listen to the music is all like that. But when you don't do parenting planhood, there's a huge expectation what's going to be when the consequences, when the baby is born, when you don't plan well, you just go with the flow, whatever. I'm always caution about what's the next thing that's going to happen. And when it happens, you got to be conservative, you got to play in the middle. Even no matter if in life we can earn as much, at points we don't earn that much, we go through problems and issues and other things that arise that we cannot control. You try to control to stay minimum. But the issue with the whole thing with the parenting planning, when you're at the stage, obviously depending on the woman's age, right? And obviously if it's close to their 30s or within their 30s, then that's the rabie zone, familyhood. And looking back at it, I'm always cautious, and it started to make sense to me that I shouldn't be dating or married someone around your same age bracket, because the reason behind is the same age bracket, whether they're friends or whatever, they're married to someone a bit older or whatever, their social media and their friend lives have achieved a certain level. And when they achieve a certain level, it's gone to a stage where they are so fear of missing out, or they are so behind of life, and they'll do anything. They have this plan. By this age, I have to do this. By this time, I do this. When I see a man, I do this straight away. I never seen these signs seriously. When I was in the relationship, I never understood why. Even though I understood, the age would get to them, but I never take it too serious at the time, because we have coronavirus, we had to lock down, and I was reading, the books of, when I heard about my cousin couldn't give baby during that time, or deliver the baby, or getting pregnant at the time, it started to make me curious to understand more. And the more about it, then one thing led to another, and we wasn't having any parenting planning, whatever. And at the time, I was wanting to, give it a try. Maybe my sperm doesn't work, maybe it's not too late. I just don't want to end up like a few of my friends or that particular family member who couldn't get pregnant because of, I don't know what was the reason, but yeah, it's better to check it up. That was my mentality. But who would have thought this, like a Russian roulette? It hits it. I got it right. My sperm works. So it's just so. At one stage, I say, "Am I naive?" Or playing this and doing that, and look where it ended up to be. And if I look back at it now, I regret having my daughter? No. The answer is no. But I guess it's that if the woman, like what I've been hearing from my mates, like when he puts a condom on, the woman will scream his head off. It's up to God or having a baby. Whether we call it as a baby trap or whatever, how it is, I got you a moment, but it's just right now the cost of living is so high. Job is insecurity right now. And when you go through that, let's just say you have the baby and you go through all that in your life, right? Obviously, there's going to be a parental problem because of finance, no job. And that will lead to whether, a woman will have an option to have government to substitute you, to look after it, to pay the money, or, and then have child support. That's why I said the whole thing in today's being a parenthood, it is very scary to know. And it's very unpredictable. And there's no such thing a career that you can work for a company for 15 or 20 or 30 years, whatever. That's what I say.